Alright, hey there everybody. We're going to make this video for directors on kind of how to navigate a little bit. I'm going to blur out parts of my screen where there may be student emails so I can show you kind of what it looks like in the window. But this is you logged into your account as a director, so you can see I have these classes built. There's a plus sign here. If you don't have any classes built yet, you can click on and create a class. I created this tutorial class here, and we can click on students, and we see that I don't have any enrolled students. But we can also go up here to the top and see platform, and this shows me my subscription. So I've got two teacher accesses. That's really great. Access for two teachers. We'll learn how to speak. As I have students who enroll through the links that I've sent them, they show up in the standard, which is not where they need to stay, but I can monitor if I have anybody maybe I haven't seen yet. Using the free access the Smart Music Granted gives us access to premium, and as you can see, I've got 54 available licenses left, but I've got 104 students out of my 158 linked so far as of this video, so still trying to push that out to them. I've got some students who don't have access or maybe don't have instruments at home because of how fast everything happened, so that won't probably hit 100, but I'm going to keep pushing to try and see if I can get some more people there. You can look at administrators, and this again is just me. And I'm a teacher also, so I can create things. We look over here under teachers, and you can see my student teacher listed here, so you can kind of see what's going on. And then we hit classes here, and you can see my roster of classes. If you click on settings, the gear over here, it'll let you approve or not approve students. There's a allocate all, deallocate all here at the top, and then you can see again blurred screen. You can see all the student accounts that are there. Maybe students have removed because they use their personal email instead of their school email like I asked them to, so I'm not having double accounts for students since we only have X amount. And then if a student ends up being pending, which is where most of the school accounts have ended up, and it kind of prompted my students to send me emails asking why they couldn't verify or if they did something wrong. So just encourage them that that's something you have to do for them. Their name would show up here, and you click on their bar and it would show an approve button. And that would move them over here to active, and then you can just turn on, toggle on their switch, or you can hit allocate all, and it'll do a whole bunch of them at one time. So that kind of is how you add students to those classes. We're going to go back here to the home button on the top left, and then we have our find music over here, so I can look for whatever I want to do. So maybe I want to look at chorale and shaker dance. I've got the one here that I like, so I click on it. I can do overview, it shows all the parts, publisher, so you make sure it's the one you want. Movements, if there are multiple movements. For method books, all the different lines out of the method book shows up here. And the details is just the copyright permissions. If I just want to look at it, I can click open. If I want to assign it to a student, I can click assign. So I'll make another video about that just so it's quick. And you can find what you're looking for specifically. So you can also pull up here, my kids refer to this as the waffle. But this button up here at the top right hand corner lets us go back to our home dashboard, straight to find music. There's all these other things where you can make your own exercises. You can build sight reading, class tools, which is where we were looking at that platform view and adding students. You can create units, gradebook, and look at that. You can also click on practice analysis, which is what we've been using to kind of see how the students are doing, and it shows you a metric. So we had a really big day yesterday. Today we're still building a little bit, but it breaks it down into the assignments, how much time they spent in those, how much time they spent exploring, and then combined. And you can toggle and untoggle these buttons here to get a specific class and see how much that class period has worked. And then you can, inside that class, untoggle this button and look per student. So, you could see if a student's doing lots of things or not a lot of things and help encourage them to practice a little bit more. One of the things that we are finding is you need to make sure you're using the play button while you're practicing because it doesn't log just your screen time inside of the program. So if a kid has an assignment open and they're practicing maybe totally on their own, not utilizing anything other than the screen, it's not going to log that time. But if they hit the play button and they play along with Smart Music, it'll log that time for them. It'll log time when they hit the record button as well. And of course they can change metronome markings and all that kind of stuff as they're practicing, so they can slow things down or work specific spots. So kind of gives you a basic overview. You can also click Assign Content, and these are the pieces that I've assigned to all my classes here, the method books and the piece of music. It'll also show you a list of what everybody has been looking at, so you can see what music your students have found on their own. Then you can set up some awards and some badges that they can earn for practicing multiple days in a row or a certain number of minutes. I've only seen 3 different badges so far, but badges are always fun, and they give that video game dopamine response, which can be helpful when you're trying to get students engaged in what's going on. My students have had a really great time using this. A little bit of frustration just as they get familiar with it, but overall, a lot of positive things I've seen from my students as they've kind of gotten up and going with it. I think the thing they like the most is being able to search their own music and find things. I had a student who found a flute solo, Celtic flute solo, that she was like, wow, this is really fantastic, and she commented that she didn't realize she spent 30 minutes practicing it. So any minutes practicing are good minutes, and so we want to encourage that with our students, especially as they're at home and not in the band room, to keep those chops up and keep working. There's a lot of great content on here. Method books. I was messing around today as a trombone player, and I found some great vocalese exercises and solo books that I was messing around with, and I'm going to maybe even record myself practicing so my students can see that it is important and see their director practicing what they preach. So hope this has been helpful for you. We'll see you out there on the cloud.